order. A new...
The people we are fighting today, we funded.
We as a nation do not have to go into debt to have a currency.
They just keep pushing crisis, 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 one after another at us till it numbs the public's mind to where they don't even want to know about current events. And we know this is part of the Hegelian dialectic of problem, reaction, solution that they continue to use against us. And it's plain as day to myself, and I'm sure to you. I wish that the general public would wake up to these facts, because it's the same broken record they keep playing over and over and over, I guess because it works.
It does work, and I think what we need to do is we really need to, when we get into the occult part of it, we need to realize that, you know, they feed our elected officials. Not only them, but when we get into the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs. We need to realize that they feed off of negative energy. A perfect example of this is, well, we're not even going to get into that, but it's just look at the chaos that they cause. I mean, they love to see suffering. They love it, and that's why one of the reasons why they're depopulating us. I think people would say, well, oh my God, why would one of the questions I got with the chemtrail thing was, why would they spray on themselves? Because they're psychopaths. They're psychopaths. And like I said earlier, they have on their underground bases, and they do blood transfusions to get the heavy metals out of their blood. I think Mick Jagger even does that. He gets his whole system flushed.
Yeah, but a bunch of elitists do that. I've read some stories about it.
Yeah, once a month they get their whole system flushed.
They like you change the oil in a car, they change their blood.
Absolutely, and it doesn't cost them anything. It's not going to kill them. Think about it. If you had 100 maniacs wanting to depopulate the planet, okay?
Because they're following Thomas Malthus. For people who are not familiar with that, he was a English economist working for the British East India Company, who came up with a theory that too much population, we wouldn't have enough food to feed them, and so it would cause collapse of society. And that's since been proven wrong. He wrote about it in the 1800s, but these psychos don't care. They're still following that same Malthusian depopulation mindset.
There's not enough food in my butt, okay? Because we've got enough food. We can organically make our own food. We have free energy. We have all these things. The reason that they say this is because what they don't want 7 billion people. They're psychopaths. They're greedy. The planet can sustain a large amount of people. What they want, and the Georgia Guidestones even says it, they want to cull the population down to, what is it, 5 million, something like that. They want slaves.
And so, but let's drill down, Paul. Let's drill down into who they are. I myself say that they are the dark occultists, Satan worshipers. I don't know I know that people don't like to hear that, but I don't know how any other way to put it but that way. How would you put it? Who they are?
They're not human beings.
You don't think they're human beings? Well, they certainly don't act like human beings.
I don't think these people are human beings at all. And you know, and that's honestly how I feel. They're not human beings.
What are they then?
Well, they're not human beings. They're aliens, if you want to call it that. They're different dimensional beings. If we look at the work of Aleister Crowley, and he was a satanic king, high priest.
Yeah.
And he was talking about when he did his work, he had, with all the abductions and alien abductions that go on in the world, the big-headed Zetas, the tall grays, Aleister Crowley said, that's who I contacted. When we look at our government, okay, they're Satanists, okay? So was Aleister Crowley. They're with these interdimensional, non-human beings who basically, here's my take on this. society has been overrun and manipulated by beings that are not from this realm. We are basically being controlled and manipulated by non-human entities because a normal human being wouldn't spray on another normal human being. We're dealing with psychopaths that are non-human.
Or at least possessed by a spirit, an evil spirit, right? By demon spirit. I mean, I don't know how to articulate it for people to understand because they say, oh, that sounds so extreme and so just over the top. But one thing I do know is they hate Jesus Christ. I know that.
Well, if you look at biblical times, I mean, we look at the fires in the sky, the spears in the sky, and the hieroglyphics. We look at the fact that Moses was called by the voice and the light and that shined down on him. When we look at the show Ancient Aliens, we see that perhaps he could been abducted. When we look at throughout society in general, humanity has had contact with extraterrestrial beings or otherworldly beings. When we look at President Bush, there's been articles that have been written that say he shapeshifted into a reptilian form by the one girl he was molesting. I forget her name, but she was in contact with Bush, and she said that he shapeshifted and had the reptilian form. And that's not that crazy because who tempted Adam with the Adam and Eve with the apple? The serpent race. I mean, this has been going on thousands of years in history. Something I personally have firsthand experience on seeing.
Okay, let's get into that. What is your firsthand experience?
Let's definitely get into that because since this is the third show that I'm on with you guys, and you guys are amazing, we never really touched base on the whole alien aspect of this.
No, we don't like to go. We don't like to go with the aliens, but we like to go with what we have documents about. But let's hear your testimony about this, about your experience.
Well, here's the thing: we've had two shows with Paul Wesley, aka Prince True Chaser, and We Are Changed Fresno. So the third one's going to be a little more paranormal.
All right.
If it ain't for you guys, then feel free to not only not watch it, but at the same time empower yourself to do the research. A man by the name of Phil Schneider, who worked on underground bases, was completely murdered. Carla Turner was, basically died of cancer. There are many scientists that got into the whole alien aspect of what's going on. Our government now has technology of cloning. We know that. Our government has technology of underground bases. We already know that.
They're talking about geoengineering babies. I mean, that's
right. So we know that. So to say that aliens have not lived on this planet or aren't here, it's preposterous. It's insane to think not. When we look at the ancient Sumerian tablets, or when we look at the hieroglyphics, we see that the problem now is that we have a society who is so dumbed down to our own history, so dumbed down to our own essence of who we are, where we came from, that the sound of, hey, we're being sprayed on is not only completely insane, but hey, we have other beings that have been monitoring us and interfering with us. It's crazy, but that's the type of mind control that we've been under. And I've been through the whole alien thing and abductions and all that. And when your viewers view this, they'll see that I have been abducted. I've been through. I've seen these things. And the parasites, even the royal bloodline. David Icke talks about that. Called the man crazy for years. Now he's reaching hundreds of thousands of people at Wembley Stadium, and people are saying the man was a genius. I mean, this is true thing.
So walk us through, Paul, and I want to make a correction, not geoengineered babies, but genetically modified babies. So let me correct that.
Genetically modified. We have the capability of mixing DNA with rats, with humans. I've seen rats with humans. I've seen, I think it was dog and human, pig with human. This has been going on overseas.
Paul, tell us about your personal experience with these alien abductions. What's going on with this stuff?
I've been abducted since the age of 6. I've had out-of-body experiences, astral travel. I've had that. I've had experiences where.
How does it work? Explain it to me. How does this work? Because I've never experienced anything like that.
Absolutely. I mean, you're laying in your bed, and all of a sudden you feel that your body is being lifted out of your bed. Now, a lot of viewers are going to relate to this because I'm going to hit point on this. A lot of people have dreams where you're floating or you're flying. And a lot of people get real scared and they grab onto something and, oh my God, like I'm floating or I'm flying. Well, that's technically the feeling that you get when you're being abducted and being raised out of your, your house and such. And it's happened to me since a very young age, and I've came forward, I've talked about it, I've interviewed people about it, I've been on shows about it. And what I think is going on is that they're building a hybrid race, and humanity is being recycled. Thus, you have the geoengineering and the GMOs and stuff like that. But you would really have to get into my work when it comes to, aliens and hybrids. When we look through history, Sam, we look at civilizations who have just disappeared. And this is proven fact. Archaeologists have dug up, huge skeleton bodies that are 15 feet long. And we call them the Nephilim. That's what I'm saying that, right? The Nephilim. But, we're now re-seeing these things. And, so it's really not that crazy to think that. But I think that humanity is in a stage right now where non-human psychopaths have us stuck in a matrix, and we're all mind controlled and we're being killed off. I mean, and you can't really say I'm crazy because I'm not.
Well, get more into your personal experience about what. Give us some testimony.
From the age of 6 years old, I've been abducted. I can actually remember where one time I was going to my basement in my house in Philadelphia when I was a young kid. And as soon as I went to the basement, I had a bright light. It was like a huge bright flash. And I seen, the big head with the big black eyes. When I was in the military, I was in the National Guard, and I threatened to expose the underground bases. And this is, I had my military ID. I posted it on Facebook. Combat Engineer, 21 Bravo. When I was, I said, hey, look, I went out. The military's garbage. It's all mind control bullshit, BS. I went out. And the guy goes, well, the lieutenant at the time said, well, no, you're not going to get out. I said, yes, I am. I'm going to expose the hybrid agenda. I'm going to expose the geoengineering. I'm going to expose the chemtrails. I'm going to expose the fact that there's underground bases. He said, all right, you went out, you're getting out. Now, when I had got released from the military, I had met a girl that shapeshifted. I don't know if she was sent to see what I knew. But when I had left the military, I spent time with her in Virginia. I spent time with her in Texas, and while being intimate with her, and I actually got a message on Facebook earlier about my new T-shirt I'm going to have. It's going to be called the "I've Been Abducted." It has a hybrid on it, whatever. And someone had said to me, "Well, I've seen the same thing that you just posted." Well, when I was discharged from the National Guard, I actually seen a woman who shapeshifted in front of me. Her whole leg, her whole thigh, and her whole arm just literally shapeshifted.
And what shapeshifted from human form into what other form?
A reptilian form. It was a dark brown form, like a brown, like brown. From my experience, there's the white draconians, there's the red-skinned ones, there's the brown ones. Now, the brown ones are supposedly the older ones who've lived underground and lived on Earth the oldest. And then the hierarchy, obviously, is the white Draco, and then there's the green ones. But, I mean, when we look at our local media, I have pictures on Facebook of the slit eyes, of where they shapeshift. I mean, this is real stuff. I've taken pictures of our local media years ago. Fox 29 News, where you can see it in their faces just deforming. And then this isn't like, oh my God, this guy's on drugs. Oh my God, this guy's drunk. It's real talk, and this can be traced through history. It can be traced through. I'll throw a couple names at you. Phil Schneider. Look up Phil Schneider. Part 4 of 7. Look up David Icke. Look up Alex Coiler. Look up Stuart Swerdlow. These are things, and I've interviewed damn near half of the ones that are alive I've interviewed. So, you know, and then this is the beautiful thing about life is because as soon as you think you know the truth, you find out you really don't know anything. But what's in front of us, like the geoengineering and stuff like that, you know, I fight. I fight it with every ounce of me because I think that wow, there's just so the agenda was that if the population only knew how deep the agenda was, they wouldn't even believe it because it was that crazy. And it's that crazy. You know, like I said, when I was getting out of the army, she shapeshifted on me more than once. I had more than one incident. When you raise your consciousness to the point to where you can see things and you accept things and you meditate and you realize how the universe works and how the psychopaths, we have to realize that the elitists, the government officials, you don't think these people study dark occultism magic? Of course they do. They know about different dimensional beings.
Paul, let me ask you this question. How do you think true Christianity plays into all this? Because we know right now ISIS is over there, or Al-Qaeda, whoever. The jihadists are over in the Middle East killing as many Christians as they can right now. So they definitely do not like Christians. How do you think Christianity plays into all this?
You know, and I'm not laughing at Christians in general. Can you hear me good, Sam?
I hear you.
Good over? I'm not laughing good. I'm not laughing on Christians in general. How does Christianity play into this? Wow, it's just funny because you just threw that at me in the moment. Wow, I mean, it does. I mean, if you sit back and you look at things, it really does seem like we are in a biblical sense of existence, because when we look at the RFID chip, the mark of the beast, when we look at the the fact of the Antichrist, we think of certain people that could be the Antichrist. When we look at the way the Catholic Church and the Bible says, you know, there's going to be mass winds and hurricanes and the food resources and all the fish are going to die. I mean, all this stuff is actually happening.
It appears we're fulfilling biblical prophecy.
You know what, Sam? Honestly, and I want to say this with all my heart, I'm not going to answer that question, because I feel on one hand, I'll answer it with this. I feel on one hand that there is proof that biblical things are happening, yes. But I'm a man where I don't believe I should have to get down on my knees and beg for forgiveness. I'm a man to where I believe that we're all children. We are all godlike. We are all universal. There is no such thing as death. So I take some things out of religion, like that resonate within my soul, and I live by that. Certain things that I don't, I squash. To each their own. Whatever makes you feel comfortable in this time of chaos, by all means, if you're a good-hearted person, live by it, but also fight for humanity.
Well, I know the system's going hardcore against Christianity, so there's got to be something there. I mean, they're removing it. They're removing it out of this country as fast as they can, and all over the world, they're killing as many Christians as they can.
I agree that we are run by satanic lunatics, non-human lunatics. But I also agree that yes, they are targeting Christians, because a lot of the stuff in the Bible is true. I do agree with I do believe in Jesus Christ. I believe that he was a man of love vibration. I believe that he had a message, and you know, so a lot of things in Christianity I resonates within my heart, within my essence, within my being. And a lot of things were man-written and I think are BS, you know, to control the masses, to mind control the populace. But I think when you educate yourself enough on a level to where you can differentiate, it's kind of like activism and universalism. When you can strip away the BS from the truth, you're grounded. You know what's going on. And I've done that with Christianity. And the only thing I can say about what's going on with Christianity is take the good with the bad, separate the bullshit from the truth, and whatever resonates within your heart, that's what you go by. Because we're living in a time with such insanity right now that anything less than love vibration, in my opinion, isn't accepted. That don't mean we can't put a foot in the rear end of the elitist. That don't mean we're not going to kick down, the doors of the media. We are. We are. But I believe that, we're all, my opinion, I believe that we're all gods in ourselves, within ourselves. We don't die. There is no judgment when you die. I don't believe that. I believe that Jesus was, and this is very important, Jesus Christ was one with all that is one. And what that means is the universe, the universal creator. I get on my knees. Like, I don't believe I should get on my knees. Why? God's all loving, Sam.
Well, the church says you got to repent for your sins, and we're all sinners.
The church says.
Yeah.
Well, and again, that brings me back to whatever resonates within your being. If you truly believe that and you're not hurting anyone, then go with that. But me on a personal level, I don't go with that. But I'm also a really stand-up guy who preaches love vibration, who fights tyranny, and who fights the devil. I fight these demons that are running, these non-human demons that are parasites that are running. So if you're a love vibrational Christian, then I'm with you. But don't expect me to go to church and get on my knees, because I have that universal side. And you know what? That's fine, because we should accept each other's differences. We should accept each other's flaws, because that's the one thing Christianity and God, if you want to call it that, teaches, love. Because if we can't accept each other's small, petty differences, then we're never going to make it out of this mess, right or wrong.
No, yeah, that's what supposedly Christianity teaches, but the church, the Catholic Church specifically, they seem to want to murder anybody that doesn't want to convert to their version of things, as history tells us. But Paul, we got like 5 minutes left. You want to give us any more important things? Any other things you want to talk to us about in our last 5 minutes here that our audience here in Fresno, California needs to know about?
Listen. Here's the thing. In the last 5 minutes, I just want to say, and I've said this all 3 times that I've been on here. Love vibration is key. Resistance is necessary, and love is key.
Well, explain love vibration for our audience.
Well, love vibration is key because that's what the psychopaths don't have. When you walk up to someone and you hand them a flyer about geoengineering and they hug you and they say thank you, that's love vibration. When you go to your job and someone says, "You're full of shit, I don't want nothing to do with you," and you say, "Hey, listen, that's fine." That's love vibration. Not letting the corrupt, insane, negative energy of the world harden you. When we're all children and all children are full of love vibration. When we get older, it seems like society hardens us. I think that when love vibration is basically saying, I refuse to be hardened by the negative environment that I'm in right now, and I'm just going to be positive. And love vibration is key. Not saying I won't put my foot in someone's ass if they deserve it, the media and elite, but also resistance is necessary and love vibration is key. You can find me at www.prince.truechaser.com, youtube.com/PrinceTrueChaser, www.facebook.com/PaulWesley286. And this is what we're here for. We're here to get the information out, regardless what your religion is, regardless what your color is. Make a stand, take a stand, and make it happen, because it's not going to happen on your couch. We don't want to hear you have 20 kids. We don't want to hear you're crippled. We want to hear that you want to empower yourself to empower others. And thank you so much to We Are Change Fresno TV, to We Are Change, period, for having me on, Sam Chaney, the whole cast, the whole crew, because without you guys, it wouldn't be possible. I reached out to you guys years ago, and to have me on, and we connected, and it's just been a hell of a ride, and keep up the great work. Keep up the great work.
Well, we got a little bit of time left. Yeah, it's very, the things that you bring up are very interesting. We like to stick to what we can prove, because, I got a degree in economics, Paul, from the University of Fresno. I know a little bit about the subject, and I've continued to study it since I've graduated, and I can't even get people to wake up to the fact that our economy is a complete and utter fraud under a fiat debt-based monetary system. So to get into this you know, this other stuff about spirituality and whatnot and aliens, that's just way too much for people to handle. But I don't necessarily disagree with you. I'm just saying that that the general public doesn't even understand how our money system operates, how our monetary system operates. They're economically illiterate, and so it's just a challenge. And people constantly telling me that I'm negative because I'm informed, and I'm telling them that these psychopath Satan worshipers are killing us, and they want to say I'm negative. I'm trying to tell them it's not negative to be informed about reality, about what's really going on. And so what's your answer to people that say you're being negative? Or maybe you're not being negative and I'm going about it the wrong way.
You know, my answer first off is this. People always want to say, where's your proof? Hey, listen, I've had people come and say, where's your proof about geoengineering, okay? So my proof, my thing is this. What are you doing to empower yourself to prove me wrong? What are you people that are doubting us doing to say? Don't ask us where our proof is. Ask yourself, why haven't I done my homework to see if this guy's a lunatic? Am I crazy? Look it up.
No, like I said, I challenge everybody to look it up. Search on Google Scholar, geoengineering ethics. You will find thousands upon thousands. I think the last search I did, there was over 4,000 scientific papers about it.
Sure. And on a closing note also is, here's my thing, is that, you know, it's not even about proof. You know, we're not being negative. We're not. What we're doing is bringing you truth. And like they say, you want the truth, you can't handle the truth. And it's not the general public's fault. It's not the general public's fault. It's the Illuminati's fault. Because the Illuminati, a.k.a. the illuminated ones, they have people under mass mind control.
Wow,
mass mind.
I agree.
But what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? I mean, like I said, there's nothing. I feel bad for people who don't know what's going on and bicker and argue. I feel bad about them. What makes me sick to my stomach is the people that know what's going on and choose to come up with excuses of why they can't come out in the streets. I'm a single father. Sam has a family. We are changed. A bunch of you guys have families. We all get out and we do it. People that support me have families. Get off your butt and go out and do it. Because that's the only way things are going to change. And even if things don't change, on an individual soul level, things will change. Because this is our experience in the end, in this madness that we live in. This is our individual experience.
All right, I hear you. We appreciate all your work that you're doing there in Philadelphia, and we will.
Real quick, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop.
All right, awesome.
We're going to keep grinding. We're going to keep grinding. And thank these guys so much for the support.
All right. That's right. Peace, love, and liberty. Speak out and take action. Good night, folks. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.